Happy New Year. Happy 2026. It's January 2nd and we made it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ah, it's so good to be in 2026. Not that 2025 wasn't good to be in, it was because we made it. It was a tough year for lots of different reasons. But it's also a year that propelled us to grow. Hi, Marilee. So nice to see you. Yeah, who else is here? Make sure you put a hi in the chat so I can personally welcome you. Oh, good. Okay, wow. I want to invite you guys. This is what's new and coming up with Lipedema because we have a busy weekend. We have a busy January. So let me talk about what's coming up tomorrow. I'm going to put the link in the chat, but let me get it. It's hi Jenny. Okay, this should do it. I have the link here. Hi, Jenny from the Isle of Wight. Happy New Year. Did you have a good night? That wasn't last night. It was the night before last. I am so, I just am so happy that we're all here. Okay. Here is the link. And I'm going to share it with you or share the page with you because it's tomorrow. Can I share a screen? This should work. Oh, good. So, community is care. What is this? The missing piece in healing with lipedema. For those of you who have been with us, there's a wonderful, amazing community where we have really been supportive of one another. And so that community, for various and sundry reasons, has been very interactive. And we have 3 big things coming up for the next year. And I'm going to tell you about them very briefly. We're going to go over them tomorrow in Community is Care, which is tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So, Jenny, for you, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 p.m. So it's not too late. We made it in the afternoon specifically because we wanted to reach as many people as we could globally. Because the 3 things that we've done and are kicking off in 2026 is we have a wonderful group of mentors. So when people come into tribe, when they come into the community and they have so many questions, and there's so much conflicting information now on the internet about lipedema, and there are even people you can find posts on Instagram that claim that lipedema is healable. Just buy these leggings, just buy this supplement, and your lipedema will go away. And we all know that that's not true, but that's because we've been working together for such a long time. But we also know there are things that can make it better. And so, in the background, you can see on the screen some of our mentors. Julie Stewart, if you look at the screen, I'm in the upper left-hand corner, and then there's Julie and Esther and Sherry and Jerry and Blanche and Kristen and oops, I lost it for a minute. And Kristen and Sherry Sharf and Fiona from New Zealand. Fiona O'Brien is her last name. So they are long-term members of our community who have stepped forward and said, I want to help others coming in. Now, everybody does that to a degree, or many people do that to a degree. But these women are willing to work together and to host different special topics. So we will be having even more availability and support for anyone coming in or anyone who's been around who wants more information. So you want to, so in this webinar, you'll get to meet everybody, and also 2 big projects coming up that everybody who is a member of Tribe can participate, either in a do-it-yourself way or do it with us. One is called, let me see, Preparing for Yourself a Medical Go Bag. What is a medical go bag? A medical go bag is for some who have had emergency room runs, have found that they're in the emergency room and don't have things that they need specific for their lipedema or lymphedema. And because the hospital doesn't, most of them are not that up to date on lymphatic diseases, people are without what they need. We'll go into it a lot more detail. So this came out of real life experience where someone in our community ended up having to go to the emergency room and ended up in the ICU. And so what we thought, again, you'll hear this in much more detail. So what we thought is that shouldn't happen. We should know, because some of us, even if it's a number of people who've gone to the ER with cellulitis, there are different things that we should know. So we have that. So we're going to go over that. And the other thing, this came from both someone else in the community and myself, because last year, if you remember, if you were around and if you weren't, I had a very, very tough 2 years. I was extremely ill. My lymphatic system had become obstructed. I don't want to go into the whole thing. I'm doing a webinar in January on it. But I had, is it January? No, March. No, I'm doing an in-depth webinar on it on March 6th because it's Lymphedema Day, World Lymphedema Day. And anyway, it was touch and go there for a while. I didn't think I was going to make it. And so, and as well as another person in our community who had a very tough go at the emergency room and then the ICU. And so we were talking about all of this, and it became apparent that for some of us, that it was important to think through and end of life planning. So we put together an end of life planning kit. I need to change that. I've got my settings, but I'll do it after this. So, an end of life um, planning process, which I actually did some of it when I was really sick, and I ended up having a couple of very innovative surgeries. There is only one doctor and surgeon that partnered and did this at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia. So, Boston is the epicenter of medicine. So you can imagine me having to travel by car because I couldn't fly to Pennsylvania to Philadelphia in order to have the surgery. Anyway, you'll come and hear more details of it. But in the meantime, what we did is we have moved into how could all of this be helpful to the general community. So you don't have to do it alone. And so here's the new projects, plus you will meet. So Julie Stewart and Esther will be going into the projects. You'll meet the additional mentors. Wow, it's tomorrow, 22 hours from now. So please, please join me. And I am going back. Uh-oh. Have I been talking and you haven't been seeing anything? Uh-oh. Oh, Sandra. Oh, Sandra, you've got to come and share. It says our funeral is paid for and planned. Okay, let me do this because I'm not sure if you saw this because the shared screen had gone off. So let me just do this very quickly because you should have already seen this, but Community is Care tomorrow, Saturday, January 3rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you figure out your time zone. Make sure you sign up. Here is the link. I'm back, and here is the link. Let me do it right here. So learn.lipedema-simplified.org/free-webinar. We use that link a lot because we have free webinars pretty much almost every month. And so we replace the content. So you can pretty much try that link almost every month. Okay. Hi, Julie. Glad you're here. I'm excited about tomorrow. It'll be good to invite people into the community. Okay, I'm going back here because there's one other thing on Sunday, and this is Nora Carr. She came and she did 2 fireside chats with us. The page is no longer active because I'm not inviting you to this. We already did the fireside chats with Nora. They were so good. And she really delved deeply into lipedema surgery and her process in working with the insurance company, trying to figure out what to do, how to do it, who to see. She ended up going to New Jersey. She also is from Boston, and she's a nurse practitioner working in one of the big hospitals here in Boston. And there was no one she could get the surgery with here. Again, this is not uncommon as we deal with lipedema and lymphedema. So we are doing a deep dive with Nora. because after 2 fireside chats, there were so many questions. So what we're doing is, on Sunday, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna come back and look and see. Give me a second so I can see the right time for Sunday. 2 p.m., not 3 p.m., 2 p.m., because we are doing a long, deep dive. We're calling it a deep dive with Nora about what do you want to know about surgery. So, where this is important is if you're thinking about surgery, if you're thinking about surgery, I can't recommend highly enough. But there is a registration for this. This is a small group. There are only 2 seats left, because we limited it. And if you're going to do it, you need to email support at lipedemasimplified.org. Okay. I just put the email in the chat and I'll show it to you. There it is. Okay, support at lipedema-simplified.org. If you're interested, let Isla know ASAP. As I said, there are only 2 seats left. There were so many questions. Nora did such a great job at supporting everybody and getting their questions answered and being so honest and truthful about, what did you need to know? What are the challenges? What are some of the obstacles that she ran into? All of the above. And so that's why we decided we would do a deep dive with her. So it's going to be a couple of hours, at least 2 to 2.5 hours. And because we want to give everyone enough time and give Nora enough time because she has a lot to say. She is a nurse practitioner, so she's worked in the medical field for quite a long time. So, and that's coming up on Sunday. So we have a busy weekend and more stuff coming up, but we'll talk about it over the weekend, and I'll definitely talk about it on Sunday during I do my Wow, What a Ride vlog. And yeah, and here we are, ready for 2026 and what it brings. And it's definitely bringing it's bringing itself with all of us. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for showing up for this. Sandra, I'm like, your funeral is paid for and planned. That's amazing. Please come and tell us about it. Hi, Gio. Let's see who else. Jenny and Marilee and others, because not everyone is here. Her first chat was so good, but I was busy on the second one. I was traveling for an appointment. Finally diagnosed type 3 and 4 and stage 3. Secondary lymphedema stage 1 at that appointment. Good. I'm glad you got what you needed. That's really important. If you can, come on Sunday. I think it's going to be spectacular. So that's what's new and coming up with lipedema. There will be more. We have January is Thyroid Awareness Month. Most of us, or many of us, have thyroid issues. I have hypothyroidism. A lot of us do. There's also hyperthyroidism, and there's also Hashimoto's. There's a number of thyroid conditions that are common comorbidities with lipedema. So, Esther and Rosie Rossmith, who is fabulous, is going to be they're doing a special webinar towards the end of the month. And there's a number of other things coming up in January. We have a number of other webinars, and but let's stay with this weekend. This weekend, community is caring, and a deep dive into lipedema surgery. I think that's a good way to kick off the new year. So, much love. Happy New Year. May this be a gentle year for all of us. I'm ready for a gentle year. But the other thing, and I forgot to even mention it, our book is coming out. The first medical textbook is coming out. And there is a symposium in Boston on lipedema, and they'll be talking about the book. Dr. Stan Roxon will be presenting there. Dr. Matthew Carmody and Siobhan Huggins, the three of them are each going to be presenting at the symposium. And the book is coming out in February, and we actually are in the throes of working on 2 additional publications. One is The Voices of Lipedema, which is for patients, and which is more about patient stories, as well as different advice and what you need to know and what we found out. And as everything is what's called evidential, everything is based in science that we do. And so that's also coming out, and probably within the next several months. And another book for clinicians, which is, I call it the Cliff Notes version of the textbook, but how do you diagnose and treat lipedema, as simple and easy, almost like a workbook. So it's a busy year, and we just starting. I have to say that it's nice and cozy. The lake is frozen. The snow was, we had a lot of cold and wind and snow. I don't think you can see it, but you can't see it. It's frozen and covered over with snow. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's because I don't have to go out. I did go out to go to the pool, but I don't have to show up anywhere quite yet. And it's the weekend. And from my heart to your heart, have a wonderful, blessed new year. But start out with having a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye.